Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carry and Cut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I sure do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. Also, check out our Instagram at Carry and Cut and our Patreon at Carry and Cut. Really do appreciate all the patron support out there. All the proceeds go directly back in the channel to buy new knives and new equipment to make the quality and the content better for you guys. So today we got another pretty cool knife from the Jimmie Crowe shop. This is the Spyderco Squeak. And Jimmy, thanks for sending this over to us. If you guys have not seen one of these knives, it is pretty incredible. It's a sweet little, kind of slip joint-ish knife. They call it the slip it lock. It's really not a non-locking knife, but there is kind of a something in there keeping the actual blade somewhat shut. Didn't really read in too much about the internal mechanisms of the knife. It's just kind of a Spyderco slip joint, but it's definitely pretty cool. And this knife was definitely designed to, work around some of the knife laws that they have in different countries, let alone here in the USA. But this knife was actually made in Italy, Italian made, so it's definitely a very high quality knife for what you're getting. And we're looking at $66.75 on this thing. And it just has a crazy appearance. I mean, compared to, I know people love case knives, but I would rather carry something like this than a case knife, me personally. I know this isn't made in America, but I'm a big Spyderco fanboy, and I really do like this one. This is actually Jimmie Crowe's Chicago carry knife. I know Chicago has some pretty strict knife laws. Same with other countries and states also, but Chicago is definitely one of them. And this knife is going to be perfectly legal to carry in a small bladed environment or a non-locking knife environment, and that would make for a pretty good knife video, just going over the different knife laws. But heck, you'd be probably rambling on for hours and hours and hours about it. But this knife is definitely pretty sweet. So we went over the non-locking actual mechanism of it. It is a slip joint-ish style. It is an N690 steel. If you guys aren't familiar with N690, it is a bowler. It's a bowler composition of N690 is itself. It's comparable to VG10 from Japan and also 440C. It has the edge holding like D2, but it's less tough, but it has better corrosion resistance. So it's definitely a pretty good steel in its own, and you don't need a whole lot of toughness with this steel, especially on this platform here, because it's not going to be a hard use knife. It's just pretty good overall, tiny little user, just something you throw in your pocket. This would be a good fifth carry pocket knife, your little like watch pocket, if you will, in your pants. Really do like the overall ergonomics of it. Tiny knife, but I still get a good full 3-finger grip, and with that really nice thumb ramp and index finger choil there, really locks you in. And this knife isn't going to be shutting on you. You can still, of course, give it some play, but it's not going to be shutting, fall shut on you. Really not going to have to worry about it. You really got to press hard into it, and it's going to stop you with your finger. So other than the small nature, it's still a safe knife, and I would definitely carry it and love to use it. So we do have a reversible wire pocket clip, as you can see right there. There isn't a whole lot going on. We do have some FRN handle scales here, and they do have some pretty useful traction on there. Nice it's not a, whatever you call that, the lock spring back there, how that works. It's definitely a pretty cool design, and like the overall look of it too. The aesthetics of this thing is just wonky though. I mean, check that thing out. It's a strange looking knife on its own, but definitely pretty cool. Love the open position presence of it. Just pretty cool, and big fan of it. The Italian made Spydercos are definitely some of the nicest quality ones, and just love to see them. So it's definitely a Spyderco that I've never seen, and definitely pretty interesting. I was really glad when he sent this over for us to look at. So overall length, we are coming in at under 5 inches. We are looking at, I don't know, pretty much 4 7/8, but it's really close to 5 inches, but it's not quite there. Yeah, it might be 5 inches. It just depends on how you look at what angle you want to look at it. Blade length coming in at 2 inches. The sharpened edge is a whopping 1.355. Jeez, Lord, 1.75 inches. Sorry, Lord. So 1.75 inch sharpened edge. Man, that was rough to get out there. Couldn't do it. Let's go over some. Let's get a weight on this thing. Zero out our scale. Maybe. There we go. So we're at 1.6 ounces, so pretty right there on your Goldilocks knife scale that you want to see your ounce per inch. And why don't we do some size comparisons? I really don't have a whole lot to compare size to. I only have one small knife, and it is this Vosteed Mini Labrador, and it makes it look like a big knife. So definitely pretty crazy there. And then we can do the Spyderco Delica, because that's the other small Spyderco that I have, but it still makes those knives look giant. So this is a pretty cool opportunity to take a look at this thing. And you know, for the $66, $67 almost dollars, it's a, you know, I don't want to say a no-brainer, but some people aren't going to be into it, but others might be. And I think it's pretty cool. So I'm glad to see Jimmie send this over to us for us to take a look at, and it you know, helps the channel. Love to see it. There really isn't a whole much more I can say about this thing, other than it's you know, pretty thin blade stock. We do have a, you know, a full flat grind, just like most other Spydercos do. And you know, I think it's gonna be a pretty efficient slicer too. So I haven't even tried to cut paper with it yet. Let's do a little paper cut test on it. I know Jimmie likes to keep his nice and sharp. I mean, it's just effortless. So that N690 takes an incredible edge. And the sharpen ability, check that out. So pretty cool. You guys get the point there. It's incredibly sharp. It does a really good job. I mean, you're not going to be doing any sort of crazy cutting tasks with this knife anyway. But you know, if you just need to slice open a package, slice open a letter, you might be able to cut it to an apple, but it's going to hit the core pretty soon. You know, you're not going to be able to get all the way through the darn thing. Definitely be a pretty cool option. And you know, pretty cool conversation piece here. Let's go against this one versus the Kansept Corvette XL. That's a pretty good size comparison there. Should have done that for the review on this thing. Check that out. It almost takes up, well, you can put this whole knife in just the handle itself right there. So that's a pretty cool size comparison, just for massive versus tiny. So make sure you guys check out the full review on this video, on this, geez, on that knife right there. So I think that's all I'm going to say about this one. It's pretty cool. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's definitely pretty interesting, and you know, great to be able to take a look at one. So Jimmie, thank you very much. Until next time, thanks guys.